What's going on, people? Another day in our brake problem saga. Yeah. As anyone who watches the channel knows, I've said it before, I have an automotive background. It does not make me an expert on anything, especially big trucks. To be honest with you, if I ever hear a technician say they know it all, that's the last person that's ever going to work on my vehicle, because no one knows it all. No one. It's not possible. You can know a lot, never all. But anyway, that being said, the foot brake valve that was overnighted up here, that the mechanic here condemned, it was bothering me last night. It just didn't make sense, the way the issue is presenting itself. So I spent about 3-4 hours last night studying various bits and pieces of information. I downloaded a Navistar manual, basically air brake manual. So I studied that last night, looking at everything. There's only one YouTube video I could find that dealt with air backflowing into the foot valve, and remarkably enough, it was produced by Swift. So, you know, hey, information is a good thing. The problem is, it didn't go into a lot of depth, but it did discuss air back bleeding into the foot brake valve, because if that's occurring, you know, obviously that's a symptom of something else. So, you know, the more I read and the more I looked, the more I didn't like the diagnosis being what it is. So, and this stuff, this is the way my mind works. I went to bed last night. This morning, I'm tossing and turning at about 4 or 5 o'clock, thinking about it. And finally, I got up at 5 o'clock and I spent about another hour looking up information, trying to figure out how to diagnose this and narrow it down as close as I can with my limited resources out here in a parking lot, to what's causing the issue. And so I went back to bed, got back up, and I got under the hood. I built air pressure in the system. I pulled that delivery line off the foot brake valve, and the way the systems are set up, when the truck is off and your yellow and red, well, we ain't talking about trailer, but when your yellow valve is pulled, which means the brakes are set, you should have no air on the delivery side of that foot brake valve, because what you have is supply coming in one side, and then you have two what they call signal lines, which is smaller diameter delivery lines that when you push the brake, supply air goes to into those delivery lines. They go to a relay, which actuates the relay, and then supply air that's plumbed to the relay is then released into the delivery line from the relay to the brake booster or chamber. I need a board to get more detailed into it, but I've definitely become a beginner level, I think, in air brake operation diagnosis. But what is occurring is when the relay valve goes bad, it allows that supply air, which is always there. It's the way the systems are designed. That air is always there on the supply side, as long as there's air in the system, to that relay. Because that way, once it's actuated, it doesn't take that air as long to get from there to the wheel as it would if it went all the way from the brake pedal valve to the wheel. So that's just the way the system is designed. If you know this, I'm not telling you nothing new. But what is happening is that signal line that comes out of the foot valve that's designed to actuate that relay, if that relay is bad, you'll get supply air backfeeding into the foot brake valve, which is what it's occurring on this truck. So if you take that line off the foot brake valve, again, it's the smaller diameter line, there shouldn't be any air. Well, there is air. And if you put your finger over it, it builds, the air coming from the supply side is then actuating the brakes. Just like you push the brake pedal and forced air down that line, there's air there. So when you close it off, it's actuating the brakes like you're stepping on the pedal. You let off and the brakes release. So that's where the air is coming from that's leaking out of that foot valve. So what I did this morning is the foot brake valve is here. I'm not going to install that. Instead, I called the international dealer in Dearborn, which is about 36 miles from where we're at. And I ordered an air brake relay for the front brakes on this truck. So I'm going to keep the foot brake valve since I already paid $600 something for it. I'm going to keep that in case the one on this truck fails, because right now the history of this truck kind of leans more toward failure versus not failing. And then I'm just going to have them. The relay is now here. TA actually, of course, going to cost me, but they went and picked the valve up. It is now here. So I'm just going to have them replace this air brake relay valve. And then we're going to go from there. Now, when I was talking to the parts guy at the international dealer, he says, "Are you sure it's not the modulator valve?" Dude, I'm working on a truck in a piss-stained parking lot, so climbing under it is not really an option. It's a 50-50 guess. A modulator valve is just what the name implies. It modulates air to the wheels so that you get even braking. That's why the relay is, I'm about 99% sure that's the problem, is that relay has failed, and that's the reason it's causing the issue. Because also what's occurring is a stiff pedal. So if I got air from another supply line back feeding into this valve, and when I go to step on the brake, the two are fighting each other, it's going to give a hard pedal. It's kind of like the booster in a car failing, developing a leak and failing. You got pressure on both sides. Same concept. Just on a car, it's a very small scale compared to a truck because everything's air. So I mean, that's where we're at. I can only. I'm limited in what I can do in this parking lot. Again, I left my tarp at home. I will not leave it at home the next time, because if it wasn't for that, I would just go ahead and do all the work myself and just call it a day. But as it stands, I'm at the mercy of these guys, and they still have trucks in front of me, even though it is what it is. So I'm not mad. The young lady that was in here this morning, it was kind of touch and go there for a second, and then she was a big help there at the end. Because when I called the international dealer and told him what part I needed, "Oh yeah, I got it." And I'm like, "Well, can you ship it to me?" And he started to come up with 5 ways to Sunday as the reason why he couldn't ship the part. And then when I went inside, and I was still on I was on the phone with him and talking to the lady inside. It was at the service desk. When I was like, "Well, I can go ahead and pay for it, and then they'll charge me to come and get it." He's like, "Well, I can't take a credit card." I'm like, "Well, why didn't you tell me at the beginning of the whole conversation?" But it's beside the point. I just need the part, and so they had to give him, because they have an account there, they had to give him a PO number. So I'm going to get upcharged on the part now. There's no way around it. She was trying to avoid that, and I appreciate the effort, but At this point, it just is what it is. At least I don't have to red label it from anywhere, which would cost me about the same, if not more. I did call the dealership I bought the truck from, thinking, you know, they would ship me the part, since they shipped me the foot valve. And I asked the gentleman what the price on their part was, and he was $200 and something more for the same part as the dealer here. So it would have been cheaper for me to even get an Uber to take me all the way to Dearborn and get the part and Uber back than it would have been to buy that part and have it shipped up here. So that didn't happen. So you know, we have the part. I'll update you once it's installed, and we'll see if it resolves the issue. If it does, great. If it don't, the saga will continue until we can figure it out. So hang with me, and we'll see what happens. Alright, so as you can see off to the right over there, they're swapping the components off the old relay to the new relay. They ain't acting like they're very happy that I re-diagnosed the truck. So we'll find out if I made the right call. After buying a valve, I probably won't need, I hope, but I'll keep it for a spare. So we'll be back when they get this thing done. All right, people. I know trying to learn this stuff. Let me get a paper towel because I'm sweating to death. We've been sitting in the truck, poor dog. I know it's cooling off. Yeah. Actually, once you pull the plastic cover piece over here, it's actually an easy to get to part. But anyway, yeah, that's what it was. I'll flip you around. I've been sitting here for about 15 minutes now watching the gauges, and that's exactly where they were when I shut the truck off 15 minutes ago. And by now they'd already be down below 100. So the brake relay valve was the issue. So that was $737. Show you right there. For that. And then the part I didn't need. And again, I appreciate the dealership overnighting it to them at their cost. Anyway, so I'll give you a peek at that. There you go. It's just money. It's just money. That's what that's the name of the truck. It's either going to be Black Hole because it's sucking the life out of me, or just money. I'm just going to call it just money. Look at that. Oh, it's beautiful to watch them gauges not move. Never been so happy in my life to see that. Yeah, they were not happy that I re-diagnosed their repair yesterday. Or not the repair, but their diagnosis. They were not too thrilled about it. I'm pretty sure they were confident that that wasn't the problem. But it ended up, that's the problem. The brake relay was actually the bad part. Had the mechanic listen to me, and had I known more about air brakes yesterday, I would not have bought this piece. And to show that we did not replace it, in case anybody's thinking that I'm bullshit, there it is. Brand new. Brand new. So was not used, didn't need it. Now I have a spare in case I do need it. Or if anybody's driving an international and they need a foot brake valve, let me know. I'll give you a little bit of a deal on this, because they are not cheap and they are hard to find right now, being the way everything is. So yep, I have a spare of that in case that ever kaputs, which will probably be a couple weeks from now. Just saying. I'm just saying. Yeah, still holding right where she is. Oh my God, awesome. So now I am going to try to I'm going to try to book a load, find a load, get on a load board after I order dinner, because it's already going on 6 o'clock on another wasted day. I'm tired, I'm hungry. Just sitting all day is just, it wears on you. I'd rather be driving. I really, really would. But yeah, we're good. We're good. Another problem resolved. I still don't make me feel any better about the truck, because, I mean, all told, I spent, what, $1,400 the last couple days. This truck's gonna kill me, I'm telling you right now. It's my penance for something I've done wrong. I'm paying for a sin. Which one, I don't know. There's probably many. So, yeah. All right. So that's the video. I'm gonna cut it here. We'll get it hopefully up tonight, and then talk to you guys later. Yeah. So I appreciate you guys taking time. Be safe. We'll talk to you.